Hi everyone, welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions. I'm Marianne. Super grateful to have you here. Thank you for stopping in for your reading. Thank you for, I love being here. It's amazing. It's been a long while, and then I came back specifically to do the Aprils. Thank goodness, because April has been and is and will be an amazing, memorable month for all of us, okay? And I can't say specifically, this is a general reading, but I can tell you that the powerful energies in the solar, the astrology and the planetary aspects, some of which have not happened in our lifetime and will happen this week, which I'll explain briefly, is just, it's so profound, it's so powerful, and I'm so grateful to be a part of that. And I did have a surgery, so I've come back. I'm doing extremely well. I'm doing a reading per day. I hope to have them finished for April by tomorrow, if everything goes well. I've been doing one a day, as I said, and I love it. I did this in the past, and it felt so beautiful because it's very calm, and it makes me feel like I can really just get the messages through without feeling pressured. And yes, I have not gone back to work. I go back in 2 days, and that will be a part of my readings too. So I feel like moving forward, and hopefully you'll like that as well. I'm going to do probably a reading a day, and it'll take upwards of the first 2 weeks to do any of the month readings I do. Now, this includes the beginning of the month through the mid-month, which I love, because there are different changes happening every day, planetary-wise, astrology-wise, but for the most part, I can certainly bring those couple of changes up that's happening, but they last, they last, and the effects and the way the energy, resonates with us will definitely last. So I think it works for me, and I hope it works for you as well. And today's beautiful featured sign, because I do go through every sign in the zodiac from Aries to Pisces, is the phenomenal, beautiful, Jupiter-ruled fire sign of Sagittarius, whom I love. I love Sagittarius. I love everybody. I like believing that I can get along with everybody, and knowing how to communicate, and the love languages and things are very essential. It matters to me. I think it matters to a lot of people, certainly in relationships. I just love Sagittarius, and they are Jupiter ruled. So there's this very positive, energetic kind of, optimistic, truth-seeking kind of energy that I resonate with beautifully. I love it. I am a Libra sun, but I do have a fire placement. I'm an Aries moon, so that definitely has affected me. And as I look back on my life, I'm very attracted to Sagittarius's, Aries, Leos for that reason. The moon, of course, placement has to do with our emotions, our inside, our internal feelings, how we react to things, how we really feel, and our soul purpose in a way, as far as I'm concerned. That's how I read the moon and its effects on us. So do yourself a favor and watch the sun, moon, and ascendant Sagittarius if you get a chance and you're not busy off some adventure like you like to do, because you're always, that's the thing I love so much, because I've had relationships with Sagittarius, unusual, beautiful things, travel. Sagittarius love to travel. It doesn't matter what the gender, this is for both, of course. I find that a lot of them can be one of the more free spirits, definitely loving independence. And yet I know, for example, my son, that's a Sagittarius, he's on the 19th of December, so he's closer to Capricorn, though he has like 4 other placements in Sagittarius. He's a definite true Sagittarius. But the placement closer to an earth element, boy, talk about focused and, long-term dedication to everything he does and pursues, which is what's been the case since he was born, basically. So kudos to him, and I admire him so much. But just so much fun. I love Sagittarius. So it's a great time for you, Sagittarius. We are in the Aries season, which is your fellow air sign, or excuse me, fire sign. And we had the new moon on the 1st, which was also in Aries. And what an amazing, beautiful new moon to have, because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Aries represents spring and brings in the spring equinox during the sun season of Aries. And cardinal leadership, demonstrative, courageous, impulsive, kind of fiery and intense at times, with the Mars ruler that is the ruling planet of Aries. I'm not talking that well, forgive me. I'm feeling the shadow aspects of the Mercury retrograde pending on May 10th, and that's fine. I really recognize it. It comes in pretty clearly, especially when you're doing, a channel where you have to speak. Nevertheless, it's all incredibly strong energy towards new beginnings and the momentum to make that happen. It's still clear way. We don't actually have the shadow period, as I mentioned. I don't think it's for another week. This week, however, I'll break down a couple of things for you, Sagittarius. This week we have the once-in-a-lifetime conjunction with Jupiter and Neptune in the sign of Pisces. Jupiter is in the sign of Pisces right now, and Jupiter has been the historical ruling planet like yourself in Pisces from the beginning of, the recognition, and the characteristics and everything that were concluded for Pisces. And then more modernly, it's Neptune. So both of those planets are the ruling planet, and it's in Pisces, and it's conjunct tomorrow. So there's going to be some incredible spiritual occurrences for every one of us, particularly those of placements in Pisces, which you can always look up. And I recommend you do, because it is a favorable time. It definitely, characteristic-wise, on the higher energy levels, represents the deepest of compassion and love and, selflessness and imagination with this Neptune influence. My goodness. I mean, well, just today I was out because it was raining. It was fantastic. We need the rain in Northern California, and my garden loves it. And, we just need it. And so I was out. I'm still wearing the scarf, actually. And I had to go and do some errands, and I got a real ID. And I know I'm sidetracking here. This is what I do. One thing leads to another at some point, I hope. Real IDs are required now, and I think you have till next year. So I go to a new location of a DMV, and it's at a mall, and it was a 10-minute process. Phenomenal. This is the kind of energy, this beautiful kind of just easy, let's go, let's work with others, let's have good communication, let's just know that things are going to work out and blend, and be careful you don't overestimate and be too dreamy like. And that's where I was going with the Neptune influence. It can bring our imagination to the heights that we haven't ever experienced. It can bring in spiritual occurrences, and they can be different for everyone, but in such a positive, life transforming way. And I was thinking today as I was driving, because I was being extra cautious, there's the rain and sometimes trucks will blow water on. I was like, oh no. I have an older car, works great though. And a lot of memories are coming through, a lot of memories. Songs always bring me back to situations and things. So you may be feeling that extra strongly this week. So the conjunction is tomorrow. The last one happened in Pisces with Jupiter and Neptune in 1856. So honestly, it's just another one of those times that are unprecedented for us. And so I just want to share with you to keep yourself lifted and separate from, the things that aren't making you happy or aren't in your best favor. And this is going to encourage you and motivate you and push you towards exactly what it is you do want. And you can ask for the sky. I mean, there is no limit. And just as long as if for some reason it doesn't exactly happen that way, you won't be let down. You're definitely into believing. You shoot your arrow. You can see right here on this beautiful astrology wheel. There you are, just ready to accomplish your goal, and you point that arrow, and it's like, that's where I'm going, and that's or that's where I'll end up, okay, for sure. And I love it. And so I'm going to pick your highlighted connection, love connection, that I always pick for every sign. And to just reiterate for those that are new, welcome to my channel. And just to let you know, I'm going to break the 4 weeks down of the month of April through the Tarot divination. And I'm going to pull a beautiful oracle message and a rune. And just let you know, this Spirit would like me to pick this right in front of you. It's always done at this moment because it is a person or situation or energy that resonates with the sign that I pick for you. And it could be a person you're in relationship with, no matter what type of love it is, or it could be somebody coming in. I mean, I know for a fact that retrogrades do bring, it's a review and a renewal and a reminder and a revisiting and all that. So that definitely happens. And people come back in your life for reasons to either finish it off completely, or because now is the perfect time to reestablish something, or a friendship, or whatever it may be, or in existing relationships to get to that next level. And that's that incredible, powerful energy of the loving that we're feeling from the Pisces energy in general, because Pisces is all about that, you know. And then, like I said, the magic of their minds and creativity it's boundless, you know, as a mutable sign that they are. So, all right, Spirit, who do you have in mind? Who specifically should be brought to Sagittarians' attention during the month of April, and perhaps onward? You have Gemini. Now, Gemini was actually the featured sign from yesterday. That is your polar opposite. And, you know, I generally don't do a secondary highlight that's like that, but I'm going to do it, because if it happens more than twice, then I say, okay, now someone else got to take a turn, Spirit. But I absolutely love this for you. This is a combination I've seen throughout the last 30 plus years of doing tarot readings and being phenomenally interested in the compatibility between the different signs. This is a common one, and I would say one of the best polarities. Second being Aries and Libra, which is very, very prominent this month. Because before I say anything more about this, I want to say we're having the full moon in Libra this weekend on the 16th. And it's going to be an amazing one that I think is going to be very, very positive. And it's going to shine a light on relationships and new partnerships. And it's going to bless them with the Venus energy. And it's going to bring in prospects of good future abundance and prosperity in it. Even in a relationship that's already existed, as I said. But this wonderful combination, I mean, you've got the air and the fire, which is absolutely two of the best elements that get together and really can just continue to grow and blossom and evolve within their structure as a, you know, partnership. And the thing I love is that you are a freedom-seeking sign, and actually in its own right, so is Gemini. Gemini loves to be in relationships and loves connection. I mean, their whole thing is their mind, and the air signs in general. Fellow air sign to Libra. So, you know, Mercury ruled is the ruling planet for, you know, Gemini, and there's this constant need to just be thinking and expressing, and I want to say almost matchmaking with people. They like to really combine their thoughts with others and kind of feed off of others and help them to promote themselves and better themselves. They're teachers, their wisdom, they know pretty much everything about anything, and they just want to share, and they're very, very quick-witted and fun, and they love adventure and changes. They're mutable. They don't like to stay stuck or in one area for too long. They like to advance themselves. That's beautiful for this wonderful side of you, Sagittarius, that wants to see the world, you know, just be everywhere, accept all that there is. You also being a mutable sign. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. That's a big one. So you see the connections and how there's this beautiful magnetizing kind of pull between you. And that's what's coming up. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you are in a relationship like this already. Or you might be meeting someone, or you know, maybe you don't know, Sagittarius, that Gemini season is the latter part of May, between May 20th and then June 20th. So I don't know, something could be really exciting having to do with that, or even just the whole idea of partnership and the duality, you know, the two ways to see things and feel and look could be heightened during April for you. But either way, I think it's very conducive for moving forward with projects and definitely, you know, intentions of your maybe new businesses, new friends, connections, networking is very highlighted. So I like that a lot. It is a very, very harmonizing energy. And once again, that's the whole idea of the Libra full moon is fairness and partnerships and harmonizing and compromising and love, you know? And then we just had actually Mercury, speaking of Mercury, go into Taurus. It was in Aries until today. Today's actually the 11th of April. And yeah, so we're going to be in Aries season through the 19th, and then we'll turn our feelings, energies will start to feel a little bit more grounded, a little more practical, like the Taurus and the earth energies in general do. Our conversations with Mercury, because it's about our mind and how we talk and how we communicate and think about things, is going to be very much fired up and energetic and, you know, spirited in the time of Aries, and still the new moon affecting us for weeks and onward in Aries. But then the second new moon this month, another very unusual time, but it's the partial solar eclipse, starting our eclipse season, is going to be on the 30th of April in Taurus. So more and more, a lot of the planets will start to lean towards Taurus. But we have a ways, and so right now we're going to be really grounding our ideas and putting in some real effort to do our due diligence, usually, you know, be very sensible. And when it comes to our finances, there's a big, huge part of the pentacles and the coins, which is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And cementing some long-term investments or, you know, relationships, being very aware of our health, probably more than we have been. Spring is here, you know, we've got summer coming. We've been cooped up a while. I know I have. So I'm really excited to be out, and I try to do it as often as I can right now. And like I said, I go back to work. So that should be this beautiful energy. And like I said, lift yourself up. It reminds me of that bra commercial. I'm dating myself. It must have been 30 plus years ago. Lift and separate. Separate yourself from the rest. You know, you're an individual. You're unique. You're your own manifesting beautiful, I don't think that's a word, but your own manifestation, and you create with every moment that you're alive and breathing. So let me read your reading for you. That was a lot, but hopefully you understand the importance of what we are being gifted with right now, and to utilize it the best you can. I mean, life has all sorts of beautiful planetary aspects that help us through our time, whether we know it or not. I like to know it. And when I see or hear that there's some things that could be challenging, of course I think, well, I'm going to do everything I can not to have that happen. That's what I love about it. I don't look at it as a negative, like, oh no, because I've read and heard many times that certain times are going to be so intense and this and that. And I'm not denying that. And I believe what I hear. I just don't want to allow that kind of energy. And I am extra cautious of how I speak, or you know, how much time I spend out, or whatever the case may be. We have a choice to do that. And I just love the guidance. That's all. I'm hoping I can be of guidance to all of you. And so the first card out of the 4-week, it will be, you know, like I said, for the first week onward. And I just spilled a lot. Forgive me. 1 second. You know what I love? My new microphone. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have any cord to deal with anymore. It's fantastic. But I just want to say that, yeah, the overall energy that you're feeling as you're watching this, and that maybe you felt in this last week, you know, because we're going on to the second now. And so what I have for you, beautiful Sagittarius, yeah, is the 5 of Swords. So coming in, this is the air element. This is the Gemini. This is not the first time this has happened. It's very great. I love the synchronicities that happen when we speak and spirit speaking, and I'm in this sacred space with you. And 5 is about change and challenge. And you know, there are just some circumstances that have happened, good heavens, maybe in the last 2 years even. Let's just be really realistic about this. And more so, let's just say this year. We'll go with this year. And I just know that there were confusion. There was a lot of confusion. We started out the year with Venus retrograde, and its entirety was for 4 months. That was huge, and it was in Capricorn, but it was Venus. So Venus is the ruler of Libra. So love and contracts, connections, things that you felt really good. Maybe you were just, you know, it was slowed down. It wasn't taken away, but it was really slowed down. I remember it well. And I just accepted that knowing, and I spoke about it myself to everybody so that you would think, oh, is it just me? And realize, no, it wasn't, but it really gave me a time to think of what was coming up and my surgery I was planning and all those things. You're leaving all the things that weren't, you got to learn a lot, Sagittarius, and you're always learning. You're always interested in higher learning. That's another wonderful aspect of your sign, or personality trait, I should say. So you are really feeling extremely good about what you're going to leave behind. And I mentioned that before. That's the releasing. Let's lift and separate. Get away from that. Leave it behind. It's done. It's over. And you know what? You don't need to be around anything that you're not fully believing in now. And you really need to sit with yourself. We have some Pluto aspects that are very strong about transformation and truth within ourselves, you know, and very critical at times, very harsh as to how we see ourselves. I'm not asking you to be that at all, but the truth comes and you realize, okay, you know what, that isn't what I really want. I really know now that I'm not going to go down that path after all. Listen to what you need. Listen to what you want. It's beautiful. You can see that in the picture, I hope. I'm using the beautiful Art Nouveau Tarot. And you've got people walking away and they weren't there for your good. They weren't supporting you. And you're thinking, okay, all right, lesson learned, right? That's all. And keep it moving. Just brush yourself off and probably not, you know, really affected by it. Could have to do with legalities, of course. Confusion about that. Just lightening your load is coming through. Just easing the path. Easing the path and keeping that optimistic energy about you, because it's contagious and I love it. So that was the first week. Maybe you can relate to that. I hope you can. Let me know if you like what you're reading. Please do me a favor and push the like button and subscribe, because subscribing there's no money or any kind of you know, you're not going to be on the list or whatever it is that they, you know, that you feel like you're going to be, your privacy will be invaded in any way. You're just supporting my channel, and I absolutely love all of you that have done that and will continue to do that, because I want to continue to grow this and be here for you every single month, every month I can be. And so thank you for that. I just want to put that out there. Second week, we're approaching that now. Wow. You open up yourself, you release the things that aren't working, you love yourself, and you trust in your abilities and what you're capable of, and you get the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter. I mean, it's you. And it's a time, it's about time. And the timing of everything, you know. Sometimes you're going to be on this side of the wheel where things are a little bit maybe more sparse, or things are held back, or you're kind of waiting, that sort of energy. And now it's moving forward, Sagittarius, and I know you feel this. I feel it as I'm speaking to you. It's a genuine, honest feeling that I can't, you know, dismiss. And you've worked hard. You have really been real and honest with yourself as well, and really good things come from that. And so prepare yourself. Write those intentions. Make that dream list. This Neptune, Jupiter, you know, influence is definitely going to be working in that regard for you, okay? this is the proof's in the pudding. So I love it. It goes from, you know, knowing what you need to do, what you need to leave behind, moving forward. You've got that arrow, as I said. So yeah, it's upright, okay? It's happening. So whatever wasn't is happening, maybe faster than you'll realize. You're okay with that. You're kind of a energetic faster, like you literally have to be doing exercise. Maybe you're starting a new beautiful exercise regimen because you haven't had a chance to do that and you miss it. It's going to work in your favor and you're going to feel better than you felt in a very long time. All that kind of energy comes through. Third week, the King of Swords. There you go again. There's the air. The third week, of course, I wouldn't consider this the third week, but we're approaching it, and the full moon will affect the third week, because full moons and new moons affect us for weeks, sometimes months, and longer, okay? Sometimes to the next full moon in the same sign. And this is absolute maturity. This is straightforward, you know, growth, direct conversations, information, helpful, you know, people. It doesn't have to be a male because it's a king. It's the masculine energy versus the feminine, if it were the queen. Very, very much about justice and fairness, you know, Gemini being there, supporting you, whatever it may be. It's fantastic. It is very much in tune with what's happening. You're going to be hearing some things, perhaps from a court or some kind of a judgment. It's not a judgment card, but a lot of times the swords represent higher institutions. So hospitals, you know, medical, you could be hearing something about an appointment or a surgery that's already happened, or you're planning and you're going to get the exact right information. You're going to be doing extremely well for it, like I can say, and you're going to be feeling a lot better because you're going to be in touch with exactly the right people. They will gravitate towards you, and that's fantastic. And the fourth week, of course, is the solar eclipse. We will then be in, of course, the Taurus season, and we'll have the solar eclipse in Taurus. So it's supposed to have an incredibly beautiful effect in many, many ways. Now, it does have an aspect to Uranus. Now, Uranus is the unexpected, you know, and when it comes to money, it could be an incredible windfall, or it could be not remembering, I should say, about a payment, but you'll have it, okay? And I feel extremely good for across the board for everybody from what I'm reading and understanding and learning about this particular, you know, eclipse. So remember, eclipses bring things in and out extremely quickly, but their influence can last for months, as I said. The story is unraveling. We will have the pairs of the Taurus-Scorpio eclipses through next May, I believe, of 2023. So this is truth, this is transformation, this is the depth, the value, you know, it is money and conservation and working for it, but definitely reaping the benefits. So a lot of gorgeous, beautiful energies for you. Many of the readings have been like this. Final week. Okay, so you have the Nine of Swords. Now, you've got a lot of swords. Interesting that we would pick, or I should say Spirit, through me, pick Gemini because that is the sword, that is the air. So your mind has been on overdrive. And you may have air in your chart. You might want to check that out because, you know, as an air sign myself with 4 planets in Libra, and the personal planets, it's a real thing. I'm constantly thinking out things, just like it's a constant. I've learned to meditate and recognize that, okay, I'm going to go down to the heart chakra now because that's going to keep me from going a little bit cuckoo from overthinking and trying to figure every single angle out. That's what this makes me think of. Fears that set in about the what ifs, and, you know, I'm moving to a new location, you know, in my real life at the end of the month. And so I have concerns, but I wouldn't say worries at this point. I'm just going to be really real about it. Ask for the great energy that's coming through in the co-creation, as I would hope you would too, and let yourself sleep. let yourself relax. Now, my son, that's a Sagittarius, he is a lawyer, he's an attorney. So you can imagine he just has constant thoughts about, different cases, and it's a constant thing where you're constantly reading and comparing other cases and what have you. It's a lot. It does involve the mind. I recommend, though, that you absolutely indulge in this ability to kind of free yourself and balance with this beautiful full moon in Libra, your ability to take your work and set it aside and then go and have your fun and do your bike rides, your runs, or whatever you do, because I know you do all that stuff. It's going to make you feel better as well. It releases the energies, okay? They get caught up in our body. So that's okay. You will be able to do so with this kind of energy leading up to it, and as it should be. So you'll have that beautiful help. I'm wanting to help you as much as I can in guidance, and that's nothing else, and this is all free will. And so beautiful, beautiful energies, but definitely predominance in air. So that's interesting to me. It makes me truly believe that you're either around people or a specific significant other that is air. And of course, when you're in a relationship, you feel what they feel, and maybe they're having some issues and concerns, and you want to be there and to, support that. And that's also coming very strongly for me. But that too will be worked out so that the two of you can just enjoy and love each other and fantasize and imagine the things you want to do, and the best parts of your life are still coming. Wheel of Fortune, okay? Take it while it's there, because it's, it'll go back down and come up. I mean, that's life, and that's just the reality of it. But I am going to read your oracle, which I really have enjoyed, because this is the beautiful Psychic Tarot for the Heart oracle, and it covers a lot of different bases. It covers the major arcana, it covers the chakras and all of the elements. So I'm going to pick the one that's for you specifically for the month of April, and read to you a little bit about it as well. The base chakra. That is your grounded area. That is the grounding Taurus influence. You may have some earth as well in your chart, which is great, because we all need to have that grounding. We can think all the time and dream and imagine and constantly be out and about and do stuff, but to ground it all in is essential. And that's what's going to come in for us with this solar eclipse. It's going to kind of prompt us, if you will, into that mindset and that energy, but clearly it will for you as well. And it's number one, the beginning of something that's going to make you feel very stable, secure, meditate on that, focus on this root chakra, which is, the base chakra, as I said. It's where we can really have most of our power a lot of times. That runs up into the solar plexus. That would be the third chakra. But this is, let me read to you what it says. See the fire and the ambition there? The motivation that's just so alive and strong within you. Colors represent so much. And red is a very powerful, powerful leadership color for sure. You want to be your own leader always. So we go back to the chakra aspect. And for number one, the keywords are, well, red, lam is a sound, it's earth, it's the adrenal gland. Sometimes they get overactive and you want to mellow those out by everything we talked about, some form of exercise, a little meditation, walking in nature, any kind of nature of any kind will be very helpful. And the keywords are I have, remembering what you do have, being incredibly grateful for what you do have. And then we go to the back, and I think it adds a little bit more to it. Known as the base or root chakra, this energy center is stimulated at the base of the spine and is most closely related to all your earthly issues, such as survival, the physical body, issues of money, sustenance, safety, and shelter. Physical movement strengthens this chakra. There you go. We've just been talking about this. Walk, dance. I didn't mention dance. Dance is one of my favorites. Even if it's in your living room, let it out, man. Let it go. What is this? I don't even know. But the samba. And strengthen, okay, work in the garden. That's also one of my favorites. Do anything that will get you moving. By energizing this chakra, you're strengthening your right to have. And you will be blessed with the loving and supportive relationships that you truly deserve. Voila. I mean, that pretty much says it all. And I think we've basically covered that as well, because that's the energies and the messages that are traditionally coming through this beautiful tarot divination. So let me finish with your last little message, like the cherry on the sundae, and that is your rune. I absolutely love these runes, and I love how, honestly, they too have been so very well, so synchronistic with the readings. And I mean, that's not a mistake. We're being guided. I'm being, you know, I'm here to help you just bring in some of the messages, and I always like them to be as positive as possible. That's just how I work. That's what my channel is about. And you have, okay, I've mentioned before, I don't remember what it is right now. I'll look it up for you. I've got my little beautiful flashcards. I'm learning to memorize them all. But I don't remember this one right now, and it reminds me a little bit of a little, like a futon, or a little, where you put your feet, what's that called? Anyway, I believe that's the direction, and if you don't see it, don't worry, because I'll be pulling out the bigger card that's very clearly evident as to the shape, and then I read to you what it says specifically about this wonderful rune, because these are alphabet. This is the Greek alphabet. Runes have been along since the beginning of time, and their messages have been incredibly helpful and insightful to me. I hope you will find that to be the case as well. We're almost at the end, so we should be seeing it relatively soon. Thank you for your patience. Here we go. All right, so I'll set this here. Pet throw. It's a P. Now, I would not have seen that as a P, and I'm going to do my best, if for no other reason, to say it looks so not like a P, that it's a P. I mean, that's how I operate sometimes. I have to associate. Yeah, okay, so that's just strictly memorization right there. That is the letter P, and it's rune number 14. And pronunciation is Pertho. Forgive me, Pertho. The theme is dice cap. Oh my gosh, right away I think of luck and, you know, taking those risks you got to take sometimes in life. The keywords are karma, chance, and mysteries. Well, it is about chance. Versions, intuition, reveal the truth. You're all about the truth. That is the truth-seeking sign of the zodiac, you beautiful Sagittarians. The magical working, divine hidden facts, occult initiations. I mentioned how powerful this Jupiter, Neptune, and Pisces conjunction is tomorrow, and it will bring out spirituality in all of us in a deeper, much more relative manner. And you could have dreams and epiphanies or downloads that come in, and it's going to rock your world. But I think it's going to be phenomenal and something you'll never ever forget. You get to hold that with you, and I think of it as an incredible gift. Understanding fate, developing intuition. Oh, you'll be developing it all right. It's like being handed to you on a silver platter. The key phrases, excuse me, all will be revealed. A leap of faith, trust your intuition. Hidden forces influence the outcome. Roll of the dice, take your chance. Okay? Now, once having had this mentality of, I'm ready, I'm clearing the decks, bring it in, you know, better than I could imagine, for the highest good, and there you go. So the rest is just accumulating, bringing in the right people, circumstances, you know, dreams, goals, desires, and focusing on your grounded energy, which is going to be brought to you as well with this eclipse. But oh my goodness, I would say that was very appropriate, or apropos. And I just really want to thank you very much again for tuning into my channel. I love having everybody here. I love doing the readings, and I'll continue to do so. So take extremely good care. Always feel free to comment if there's anything that's resonated and you can share with me, because I love to share with others. And that's what this channel is about. You know, it's just one big, like-minded tribe, basically. And so until next time, I definitely hope you'll stop in May. Take great care. Until then, bye for now.